The parsha of Korach is only one of the continuing litany of tragedies that occurred to Klal Yisrael in the desert in the generation of Moshe. So all the Meforshim are interested as to the causes of why Korach chose now to foster this rebellion, and why did he think he was correct? And he thought that he was so correct that he was willing to risk what Moshe told him, that the earth will swallow you up, the Torahs will burn you, and he ignored all of that. So there's an insight in the Torah itself. It says, Vayikach Korach ben Yitzhor ben Koas ben Levi. The Torah here gives his genealogy. What do we need that for? What does that teach us? So Rashi points out that the reason that it said all of that, because of the fact that it wanted to show that the name of Yaakov Avinu doesn't appear. Because it should have said Ben Levi ben Yaakov, if we want to give his entire genealogy. And that's in fulfillment to what Yaakov Avinu said regarding Shimon Valevi, B'sodom al tovo nafshi, b'kolam al teichat kvodi. I don't want to be associated with them. So it stops with Levi. So first of all, if it starts with Levi, you don't know that it's Ben Yaakov. And what's the difference whether he mentioned his name or not? And what's the significance of mentioning the name? So the Meforshim explain that the Torah wanted to emphasize to us that this character trait of machlokas never came from Yaakov. That's why Yaakov's name is not mentioned. It begins with Levi. Levi inherited it from his mother's side, from Lavan. But that has nothing to do with Yaakov. We'll find later in the Torah it says, Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen Eishi v'Schamosi. So Rashi there points out also, I say Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen. Again, why do we need the entire genealogy? So Rashi points out that the Jewish people said, who is this man Pinchas to take revenge on a prince in Israel, to take the law in his own hands, to be so violent? He's a descendant of Yisrael. He's a descendant of Misha Pite Magolim Lavodah Zarah. Somebody that fattened calves to sacrifice them for paganism. So the Torah wanted to emphasize that that's not true. That the measure and trait of Pinchas, that he was zealous in the name of God, that came from Aaron. That didn't come. So even though Aaron is Ohev Shalom v'Rodev Shalom, and nevertheless there are instances when Kanoim Pogim Bo. And Pinchas was the one that did it. So the Torah wanted to emphasize that it's not from Yisrael, that it is from Aaron himself. But there's a deeper idea here that the Medrash and the Meforshim explain to us. Eldad and Medad prophesied in the camp. Rashi there already said, what did they prophesy? Moshe Meis, v'Yoshua Machnisan Loretz. before even Moshe was punished. He's not going to be punished till Parshas Chukas. But they already prophesied Moshe is going to die here in the desert, and Yoshua is the heir. Yoshua is going to be Machnisam Lawrence. He's going to succeed. Yoshua is from Shevet Ephraim. Yoshua is from Shevet Yosef. Levi and Yosef have an old machlokes. Went all the way back. Levi said, "Hine ishal chalomos alozev." Boy, here comes the dreamer. L'chuven argeu. Come, we'll kill him. V'nire mayiyum chalamosa, we'll see what'll be with him. So Levi is jealous of Yosef. He's jealous of the fact that their father seems to favor Yosef. And he resents the way Yosef lords it over the brothers. Tells them all sorts of dreams. You're going to bow down to me. Everyone's going to bow down to me. I'm the one. So that resentment remained. It becomes part of the DNA. So now, when Eldad and Medad said Moshe mace, Moshe is not going to live. So the Bnei Levi, Korach said, so then why should Ephraim inherit it? Why should Yosef be the one that leads them to Eretz Yisrael? We're the ones that should do it. It was given to us. We're the Leviim. We're the Kohanim. We're special. How come Yoshua Machnisam Lawrence? And therefore, that was part of their resentment. So many times when people have a resentment, so they don't express it to the person they resent. They come home to their wife and they say, why didn't you cook a good meal tonight? What, the wife doesn't know what you're talking about. But because you resent someone else, so to speak, it's boiling within you, so you take it out on whoever you can, whoever you meet. So they didn't want to confront Yoshua. They didn't want to confront Yosef directly. So instead they confronted Moshe. And they figured that Moshe would eventually be on their side because they had this prophecy that Moshe makes. Moshe is not going to do it, so Moshe is not going to do it. His children are not going to bring them. So Moshe has a vested interest that the Shevet Levi should do it. He's one of us. He's our cousin. So why should he foist it off and give it to Yoshua? And that was part of the error in judgment and in emotion that Korach makes here. And that's what Moshe answers them. Rav lachem b'nei Levi. What? It's enough. You're not going to do it. It's not given to you. What kind of an answer is Rav lachem b'nei Levi? Because they said b'nei Levi are entitled. We're your heirs. And we find that throughout Jewish history, throughout the Bayis Rishon, the Bayis Sheni, that the Malchus didn't belong to the Bnei Levi, and that Chazal were critical of the Hashmonaim because they usurped for themselves the power of being the Melech. Rav lachem b'nei Levi. Just because you're Bnei Levi, you're not entitled. And that was part of the makeup of this struggle So this is really a struggle between the Shvatim. It's not just individuals. And the same thing is true why the Torah mentions Dosan Vaviram B'nai Ruvain. Because Ruvain is always resentful. Ruvain was supposed to be the Bechor. And it was given to Yosef. So again, why is Yoshua? Why is Yosef getting it? I'm the Bechor. We're entitled. And that's one of the reasons the Meforshim say they didn't want to go to Eretz Yisrael. They said, Al Tavireinu es Hayarden, we want to stay here because we don't want to be under the rule and under the jurisdiction of Yosef. We don't want that Yeshua should tell us what to do. And so that's unfortunately very human. That's how people are. And the Torah always portrays how people are. The Torah doesn't mask anything. Now, it doesn't say anything specifically, but because of the fact that the Torah has so many layers to it, and it's Shivim Ponim La Torah, so the Torah allows for us to see more than what is written with the black letters. My Rebbe used to say, when you read the Torah, you have to read not only the black letters, you have to read the white spaces too. You have to be able to see it. And that's interesting, that's one of the halachas in the Sefer Torah. There's not only halachas regarding the letters, there's halachas regarding the white spaces. Where they should be, how much they should be, the size they should be. Because you have to be able to see more than what just the black letters say. So here in this description of this terrible rebellion of Korach, there's a replay here of what originally happened with the brothers long ago. The problem of Reuven, Levi, Yosef. So even though this is hundreds of years later, and under completely different circumstances, the problem was not completely erased. Rabbi Chananya ben Akash Omer Ratza Kodesh Baruch Hu V'Zalkos Yisrael